Today is Monday, July 15th at 7:15 p.m. I feel like lately I've been in like a weird headspace. I think it's important to be honest with y'all, because especially I feel like recently a lot of my videos are all about, you know, getting your life together and feeling like you've got your life together. I literally think I've said that in like the past 3 videos. Like, I make videos about how to feel like you've got your life together. And while I'm not trying to mock myself, because, you know, I do like make videos like that, at the same time, I want to be honest with y'all, and like, it's not like that all the time. The past few weeks, I feel like I felt like really uneasy, but I don't know why. Let me know in the comments though if you also feel like sometimes you like have all these things in your head that you want to say, but you don't know how to say them and you don't know how to verbalize them so that they make sense and another human would be able to understand what you're saying, because that's me right now. Basically, I've just been feeling all over the place lately. I don't know, like I do feel great, but I don't. It's so weird. It's so weird. I did a lot of thinking and I came to a realization. It was actually kind of out of the blue. I was like trying to figure it out, and then one day it was just sitting at work actually, and it like came to me and I was like, oh my gosh, this is why I've been feeling so stressed. And it's for 2 main reasons, and I wanted to share with y'all what those reasons are, as well as different things that I've done since then to kind of feel better about it and deal with it and productively attack the situation so that I can start to feel better. Because I think it's pretty common for somebody to feel like they don't even know how they're feeling. And I know that sounds weird, but I think this will kind of hopefully help. So the 2 things that I realized are my main issues and have been my main issues for a little while now are: 1, I have not had my priorities straight, and 2, I have been really lacking with self-discipline. So if you're in the same situation, you are kind of feeling all over the place, you don't necessarily feel 100%, but you don't necessarily know why, then I want you to follow this little process along with me. I'm gonna share with you what I did, because I think it could really help you figure that out and then deal with it and start to feel better. So number 1 is dealing with the priorities thing. So what I did was I first made a list, or I wrote down the number 1 priority that I have in terms of like what you have to do every day. What's my number 1 priority? And that is my job. I work a full-time 9-to-5 job, 40 hours a week job. So, you know, that's obviously the number 1 thing, because if I lose that, I don't have my condo, I don't have food, can't pay my bills. So obviously I need to dedicate that amount of time a week for my job. And most likely for you, that number 1 priority is also going to be a job, or if you're still a student, then school, because school should be your number 1 priority when you're in school. And then I want you to come up with 3 to 5 main priorities for yourself aside from that job, from work for me. So the top 5 priorities that I listed out are going back to the gym, because that helps me mentally and physically, making sure that I'm eating healthy and actually taking the time to, you know, meal prep and go grocery shopping and buy healthy foods and figuring out recipes and all that. YouTube, obviously, this is one of the biggest, most important things in my life. Making time for friends and family, this is a big one. I think, you know, especially now living on my own. I mean, Tim is with me here a lot, but I'm technically still living on my own. And even when he is here most of the time, that's still not, you know, I still want to make time for my friends and my family, since I don't live with my family anymore. And then, you know, obviously all of my friends now, we're all working full time. We don't have as much time to see each other, but it's still very, very important to me to make time to see them when I can. And honestly, one of the most important out of all of these as well is staying on top of my finances and saving and being smart about my money. So you can also kind of see how all of those things interlock, you know. So for example, spending time with my friends and family is important to me, but also my finances are important to me. So if I'm going out and spending time with my friends, but you know, I'm going out every night for dinner, spending tons of money, going on trips, then I'm letting this priority sink. So it's a balance. You want to make sure that you are attending to every single one of those priorities, which is why you don't want to have a list that's too long. Otherwise you're going to spread yourself too thin and nothing's going to happen. The dogs heard someone in the hallway and they all freaked out, so we kind of had to regroup. So sorry about that. Okay, so now that you have a list of 3 to 5, you know, whatever the amount of priorities that you have for yourself are written down, I want you to write them down on a piece of paper in a notepad. The next thing that you're going to do in that notepad is go back to your main, like top priority. For me, it's work. And I want you to write down exactly how many hours per week you spend doing that. This includes any travel time, getting ready time. So for me, I did this. I just went to get a piece of paper because I did write this all down. 50 hours a week are dedicated to work. And then I went ahead and timed out how much time I have before I go to work and after work plus the weekends. You know, I look at that total, that's 38 hours I have every single week that I can dedicate to myself and to those 5 priorities that I talked about aside from my full-time job. And what this did is it really opened my mind to realize, like, okay, Kat, when you're trying to say that you don't have time for stuff, that's not true. You do have time. It's just what you're doing with it. And it really made me realize that, like, I have not been using my extra time wisely. So that's where self-discipline comes in. And this can be really hard. I once saw somebody talking about why a lot of people fail at their goals, and it's because they think that motivation is the #1 thing that you need. And that's just not true. It's very important to have motivation, but it's also important to remember that motivation is going to come and it's going to go. So if the second your motivation starts to drop down, you just give up, you're never going to make your goal ever. So self-discipline is so incredibly important. It is, you're not going to get anything done without it. And that was kind of a harsh reality that I had to come to and realize I'm not being really disciplined with myself. But a good way to think about it, most mornings when I wake up, I don't think I want to go into work today. Now, with that being said, I do love my job. I don't really ever dread going in. I really enjoy what I do, the people I work with, but it's still not something that I wake up and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to go into the office today. But I still do it every day. If you have something that you know you have to do, you normally do it. If it's something like work or, you know, you're going to class isn't as great of an example because I know we've all skipped class once in a while. But the point is that you don't double think those types of things as often as you do your own goals. And when you take a step back and look at it, you're like, okay, I'm second guessing myself on the gym, even though I know that it's gonna make me feel better to go to the gym. I know I'm gonna be happier if I go to the gym, but I'm still sitting here telling myself I don't feel like it, so I'm not gonna go. You can logically know that doing this thing is gonna make you 10 times happier and be good for you, but you still let yourself just say, but I don't feel like it, and you just don't do it. And when you look at it like that and you take a step back and you're like, wow, I'm pushing myself and being self-disciplined enough to get up every morning and go to work, or to get up every morning and go to school, or, you know, whatever that is, but I don't have the self-discipline to do what's really, really important to me and my own goals and what's gonna make me really happy in the long run. And when I had that realization, it was like, game changer. Like, I need to make more time for myself. And not only that, because I have the time, but I need to start spending that time more wisely and being disciplined enough to actually spend that time doing things that are going to get myself further in life and make me happier in life. Hi guys. My camera died and I had to charge it, but then I didn't want to put it back on the tripod, and I thought I would just come talk to y'all from the dog bed. 3 dogs and a cat. Let me know in the comments if you want to see a video where I go more in detail about, you know, the process of figuring out what your priorities are, being more self-disciplined, you know, making a list to figure out the time that you have to work on those priorities and what you can do with the time and all of that sort of thing. And my low battery sign is on again. I love you guys so much. If you watched until this video, comment Tucker, Callie, and Dewey. And I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video.